as a following presentation based on what I have said during this morning presentation, I want to discuss about and show you using a demonstration. I have instead of using PowerPoint, I just want to show you eXo in action. So the user experience platform when you can build website and so on. So let's just do a demonstration how we can also develop applications and kind of socialize, add social support to your application. So eXo is based on Java, it's open source, so everything will be based on a local installation, but you can use the same product online on cloudworkspaces.com. So when you are connected to the platform, so when you go the first time to the product, you have different websites. You can build a simple public website with a content management system solution. So you will be able to connect. Once you are connected, you can edit the content. And it's quite easy to organize a page, to reorganize a page by simply drag and drop, because everything is based on an open source portal that is co-developed between eXo and JBoss. It's named Gating. So we use the feature of gating inside our product. So you can add and remove application on the page, you can put permissions, you can put security on different content, on different portlets, so the application you put on the page. So how do you edit content if you are a user? Just if you have the permissions, content, double click, edit the content, save, it's done. It's not published yet because it's a draft, I want to publish. So everything will be based on your security model if the author is authorized to publish or not the content. So the content is published. So this is an example, very, very simple example of the content management system capabilities. What is more interesting about the social networking is I modified this content. This content is called the introduce, so the banner of the website. Let me switch on the same platform to my intranet. When I'm connected to the intranet, my homepage has been built in the same kind of layout we have in Facebook, in LinkedIn, and all other social networking applications, with in the middle, my activity stream, on the side, some applications. And what you can see, I modified the Acme introduce page, and I can see that. And the same way, when it was in draft mode, somebody of my network will be able to comment and interact with myself using what we call the social conversation. So the content management system is integrated to my social network. The same way, the document management system, for example, here I have a PDF that is stored inside my document repository, is part of my social network now. So the intranet has been built in a way that all our applications are social enabled. What does that mean? I mean, if I want to create a community to make the life easier for the user to share information about a specific project, let's go in my spaces. So spaces are communities. I want to add a new space. I can describe it, but I can also select who can view, who can participate to this specific community. Is it visible in the list? Yes or no? Is it open to anybody? Is it based on validation of the manager? And you can promote many people as manager inside your community. If you think about it, if you are using LinkedIn groups or Facebook groups, it's exactly the same kind of approach. You create a group, you promote some people as manager of these groups, and you will have some specific applications and services inside this group. So let's create it. And in this context, what I do, what the system is doing, is just creating new pages inside my portal. So we use the gating API to build pages, as you can see now, and add some application on these pages. And what I have done here is I have a discussion forum, I have a wiki that is part of my application. So we have a discussion forum when I will post something in this discussion forum. You can guess, I am French. But I won't eat French food. When I create this post in the discussion forum, what will happen? The information will be pushed on the home page of my space using the concept of microblogging, demo effect. It's weird. Let me just check here. So you see here I have on my home page the information coming from the discussion forum. I can reply directly online. So we have integrated all our applications in the social network. So discussion forum, content, wiki, calendar, everything is pushing information inside my space, inside my activity stream, so my wall. So when you want to create an application, when you want to add an application to your page or to your space, it's quite easy. Depending on your permission, you will be able to go edit page layout, choose if you want to view that with blocks, because when you have many applications on the page, it could be complex to manage the UI, or you can switch to a WYSIWYG view. Inside this WYSIWYG view, you will be able to select a specific application. For example, I will take a simple calculator, put that on a page, drop that, select who can view or not this application. Because a key point about the services that the user experience platform should give you, it's to be able to select based on the profile of the user what the user can do, what the user can see. So for example, if I want to make this calculator visible only to administrator, I will just have to change the permission setting of the specific application. So platform administrator, for example. So all the administrator of the platform will be able to see this application. Let's test it. So I save. So my calculator should be visible on the home page. If I log out, connect with another user, I will see the same page in my context. So we see that John has published some information. We don't see the information about the Open Source Day community because I am not part of this community, but I don't see the calculator either. So all the permissions are managed in the centralized way, so you can associate that to your LDAP, to your Active Directory, or to your custom authentication and group management, and put the permission inside the applications on the portal. So this is an interesting feature. Another part that could be interesting for developers, it's the fact that you can leverage the API for the social networking. Because when we talk about enabling social network inside the enterprise, putting people together is quite interesting. But what is more important is to be able to use your custom application, your ERPs or CRM, and integrate that with your intranet. If we suppose that this page is the home page of your application. So as a developer, you have different ways of building applications. You can use your IDE. So in this case, I'm using NetBeans to build Java portlets. And I have built the portlets using Java server faces, using the JBoss bridge and rich faces component. So I have deployed the application, and this application is the Adventure applications that allow me to see the different superhero and navigate. So what I am using here is I am using the different data coming from a database. I can preview some information. But what I want is when somebody is buying the product, I want to push that inside my activity stream. So somebody is using your application, and I want to be sure that I see that this application, this book or this superhero has been bought by the user. So I am John, and I want to buy, no, Daredevil is not very interesting. I want to buy Hulk. So I buy Hulk. The information will be pushed in my social network. If I go back here, and I refresh my page, I just bought Hulk. So what I have done for that is I'm just using, some of the API we have inside eXo to post a message coming from your own application. Everything that you see inside Java is also accessible using REST API. So you can use HTTP to push information inside the REST API. So in this case, your custom application is integrated with your social network, your enterprise social network. You may want to do the opposite. You may want to integrate your intranet with another social network, with Twitter, with Facebook, with LinkedIn, or for example, with Chatter from Salesforce. So in this case, you will use other API to do it. So I have built a portlet for that. And what I have to do as a user, I just have to go to my profile and register my Twitter account with my intranet account. So I will customize the page, go inside the portlet that I have available inside eXo, take the Twitter integrations, drop that on a page, save. So now what I have is I have a new portlet that has been published on my page. But as you can guess, John, as a user you have inside your intranet, your login and password that is managed by your LDAP, by your Active Directory, or your custom SSO, has nothing to do with your Twitter, Facebook, or other accounts. So you have to link them together. And most of the social networks today are using OAuth as a protocol for authentications on user identity management. So like that, you don't have a link between the user, you just exchange keys. So my account is not in relation with my intranet account. I have to click here. So I jump inside Twitter. So you see api.twitter.com, OAuth. And now I am using Twitter directly with a specific context. It's associated to my eXo platform. So I will use my account. And entering my password. And I do authorize this application. So now my Twitter account authorizes eXo application to push some information on my network. So I'll take this key, put that in the context of my portal, and save it. So now the two accounts are in relation. So I have associated my intranet account to my Twitter account. So we store some keys. We don't store any password. And this is a basic architecture for OAuth. You just exchange some keys. You don't exchange a password. You don't exchange the login and this kind of information. So based on this, the way we have developed that is you just have to use the hashtag TW to post on Twitter. So if I am TW, posting that. If everything is working inside eXo, we see the post here. If I go to my Twitter account, we see the same message. So the same way you can add and integrate your enterprise social network with a public social network. And I can even modify now my small application that managing the book, managing the superhero, to publish the message directly on Twitter just by adding the hashtag TW to my application. Adding just TW in my message, and I'm using remote debugging in Java to push the new code in my application, just to avoid a complex and complete redeployment. So modifying my applications, compiling my application, pushing that on my server. So let's see if it's working when I post and when I buy a new book from my social application. So go to my Adventure page, take now Captain America. it's post here with TW, so if everything is working correctly, we just see it coming. So you can imagine any type of integration now between your custom application on your intranet, and everything will be using simple API and standard-based API. eXo has been built on OpenSocial. OpenSocial is a specification that has been originally pushed by Google for Orkut and iGoogle, but all the API has been integrated inside eXo, so you can develop using the same way. And one of the benefits of this API, it's not only that it provides profile, connections, and microblogging, so who I am, what I am doing, and who are my friends or contacts, but it also provides an API for the UI, so the gadgets, OpenSocial gadgets. It's a technology you use in Atlassian, for example, in Jira, in Confluence. It's a technology you use inside iGoogle, on many other High5 and other social networks. And inside eXo, you can choose to develop portlets, and you can choose to use gadgets. So the same, if you know the gating project from JBoss, you can develop gadgets, you can develop portlets. What we have done inside eXo, it's we are using the content repository, so the document repository to store your gadget sources to allow you to develop quickly new application online. Because one of the stuff that you need to do if you want to have a successful portal, a successful intranet, it's to be able to easily develop and deploy new services to your customer. And I will take an example using my applications to, because John is a developer, I can go in the online IDE. So directly inside the browser, what I have, I have a development tool. This development tool allows me to build web services in Java and allow me to build gadgets. And this gadget, based on the specification, is just an XML file with some metadata. So you see Flickr viewer with the preferences. Then you have some HTML code. I'm using jQuery, so JavaScript API, to call some information, call some picture coming from Flickr. So what I do here is I integrate my picture inside my portal. So I can test that online. So this specific IDE is built inside the portal, as you can see from the URL. I am inside my portal. I can use, and we have been working a lot to improve the code completions and so on to make the life of the developer easier. All the features you can find in Eclipse, in NetBeans, we are trying to push them directly on the web. So now I can push my gadget inside my portal and use this specific gadget inside my page. If I go here, and I will, for example, go on the home page, edit the page again, or I go on my dashboard, because all the users have their personal page, I can take the gadget and put the gadget. It's already there, so I will just show you with the complete part. So depending of your permission, you will see different gadgets here. I drop it on my page. And because if you look at the source code here, one of the features is I want to use the set preferences API coming from the gadget API to allow the user to set and customize the gadget. So when I put it on the page, you go to Flickr and look at the default stream. I can edit and save with my own idea and change the picture to be my own picture. So you can build your portlet, your gadget online. And what we have done, you can talk about the previous presentation was about Alfresco and Alfresco on the cloud. What we have done with eXo, it's all the services you see here are running on-premise, meaning on your own IT. But what we have done using cloudworkspaces.com, you can build your own intranet, your own website, your own applications online using the cloud. And we have even extended the IDE, so the development tool that I showed you, to allow you to develop Java application. It's not this one. To allow you to develop your own application online. So this IDE is made as soon as, so it's based on Google Web Toolkit. If you ask some question about the technical implementation, so you have to load all the JavaScript. And here I can take my sources from GitHub, create a new project, open an existing project, so I will. For example, I will use a Spring part. So you have, for developers, you will have integrating with Git. You have integration with Maven. You can push your application in different paths, so platform as a service. So you can push and develop your application for free online on Cloud IDE and deploy the Java application, Ruby application, or PHP application online. And you even have, because most of us, not only we use IDE, but you may want to use a command line utility to either check in, check out your source from GitHub, to deploy, for example, or Cloud Foundry from VMware. So you have online shells that allow you to browse the source code that are stored inside inside your application. So I was yeah. Not yet. So the question was, can I deploy this kind of application on App Engine? And my answer was not yet. We are working on it. We have different targets. So today, if you look at the list of the different paths we have, CloudBees for Java PHP, Cloud Foundry for Java PHP, Heroku for Ruby on Rails. We don't support yet the Java integration of Heroku, OpenShift for PHP, and we are working on the Java integration, and we plan to add other paths. So as soon as the thing we are working on is to have a system development kit for the IDE to allow people to extend it. So I still have a few minutes for questions. So cloudide.com, cloudworkspaces.com if you want to test the product. Thank you.